talk about on the show in a second? Not.
I didn't authorize Gopher throttle up.
Well, no, I wanted to say before the show, actually, my brother.
The show's already starting, so wait.
'Cause,
We're probably live on YouTube right now. We got to work on your timing, man. You're not very good with the whole timing thing, are you?
No.
All right, we look good on both Twitch and YouTube, so we are live and on the air. Welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. It is a lovely Thursday afternoon, and we are here to provide you support and answer any questions about our products and services primarily. Otherwise, we may spend the time doing random things. So, on that note, if you would like to join us and talk directly to us during the show, you can always feel free to jump over to foolishtechshow.com. We have a couple ways you can join our IRC chat from there, talk directly to us, and always feel free to interrupt us, whatever we may be talking about at the time or doing, and ask us questions. We'll be more than happy to divert and talk about that instead. So it looks like we got a couple people in our chat already. Hey, Zombie Worm, and hey, Futures Tech, Eric. And looks like we got Quark and Shook and Whiskers in there as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody else's Thursday going? Chat and here around general.
Oh, it's just been
doing well.
Busy though, right, guys?
Yep. It has been busy. If you did not know, we did a newsletter yesterday, and I will get you the newsletter link that we also posted on the blog as well, and you can find out all the exciting details. To kind of sum it up there for you, we have CryptoPrevent 8 being released by Halloween. We've announced the new pricing structure, so you can check those out on this page as well. And this is your last time to get a CryptoPrevent lifetime license key, and including unlimited. So if you haven't gotten a CryptoPrevent license key, you may want to go ahead and grab one now, because we are going to be taking those away after CryptoPrevent 8 is released, and we'll be on a year or 3-year premium features package. So definitely jump on it now. Otherwise, we are very excited about the CryptoPrevent version 8. Lots and lots of features and protections coming along with that. And I won't go over them all here because we did that kind of yesterday, and they're all listed on that link, as well as some things that weren't listed as well. So check those out. Zombie Worm asks, D7X for Christmas promo then? Depends if it's ready or not. So that'll be a thing there. Futures Tech Ian gave us a link for, on the topic of CryptoPrevent, there's a thing. Looks like a ransomware variant. I'm pulling it up now, see what we got here. Oh, Hex Chat, why does your copy pasta not work?
Sorry, Brantley, what is copy pasta?
Copy and paste.
I've never heard it referred to as copy pasta, but okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was something I might have to cook, but all right.
So they are, Future Tech Ian points out an article about CryPy, which I think we have actually mentioned. I think it was prior to it actually being released in the wild. So it looks like this has actually been released into the wild, and this one has a key feature where it encrypts each file on a system with a unique key. And that would mean different decryption codes for each. It's also written in Python, which I am not a fan of Python Pysomwares, as they called it in this article, apparently. HolyCrypt is probably one of the fastest encrypting ones out there, although the honeypot detection feature does still block it. It is able to get through some files sometimes, so looks like maybe they'll be reaching into Python a lot more. I do have some ideas on blocking those kind of things in general. Since Python's not a very commonly used legitimate usage program on Windows, we may be able to take some actions to block it otherwise. But
What? Python?
yeah.
A lot of stuff's done in Python.
where apps are.
Printer drivers with Python. There's a lot of stuff done in Python.
Yeah,
But
there's.
not in the Python wrapper for Windows thing, because that's what these are doing. They write in Python, and then they have a Python wrapper that allows you to run Python things with Python not being installed on the system that you're running on. So it kind of pre-packages the Python language and compiler and runtime into one thing, and then allows you to run Python in an environment that doesn't have Python installed on it.
I don't know. Sounds neat.
It kind of does look neat, but Python is a great language. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying that there's not a lot of applications that I've seen that use .py files to actually use their stuff. I could be mistaken on that, and it may cause some other issues, but again, if it's a way to block these, it may be the security versus convenience stuff. So Futures Tech Quark says copy pasta is normally just a post that gets reposted an excessive number of times. I refer to it any time that I want to say copy paste, honestly. It works pretty fine. Copy pasta. Like HexChat's copy pasta is not very good. They fail on the copy part, which makes the paste part fail. So
I haven't heard that either. So weird to me.
Otherwise,
except for that one time, I just didn't know what you were talking about, and I just didn't care to ask.
okay. Coffee pasta? I've never heard that one.
Just an FYI, I was just doing, some just general checking of some of my virtual machines and testing boxes and my machine and some other things. And I'm not seeing a tremendous number of PY files, but I'm definitely seeing some related to what looks like Chrome and GitHub and other things. So
they may be, but I was kind of thinking about, because like HolyCrypt extracts all its files to the temp folder, and I was thinking like something about alerting you if those kind of files are getting extracted there, or possibly quarantining them if they're in the temp folder, those kind of things. But like I said, it's not something I'm implementing prior to release. It's something I'm going to look into more to try to prevent those kind of things.
YubiKey might use it.
Okay, so like I said, we'll look into it further and see what we can do. I was just trying to go for a route that would completely block HolyCrypt, because that's my nemesis so far. So
I agree, and I think there's should be at least an optional feature that we have to address some of these things, but I don't know if we could make it part of the default. When you initially
no, they probably wouldn't be part of the default.
Yeah, when you initially presented it, I thought it might be okay for the vast majority of people, but that seems to be a little bit debatable right now. So until we can confirm. But anyway, what the point is, we always look for your guys' safety and convenience out there too when we're looking at security features. So that's always a bar that we try to serve a really good result with. Set really high. Yeah.
So some of you may be wondering about my shirt. I'm just going to assume you are, because it's so awesome. But I wanted to point it out because I am very excited to have gotten it, and you can get one yourself from the Welcome to Night Vale show. And I got it because I've listened to their podcast since it was introduced to me over 2.5 years ago almost, and absolutely love that podcast. And it's free for everyone to listen to twice a month, every month almost. And it's just a great, quirky little podcast. It's the only podcast I listen to. So just wanted to give a shout out to them, because I thought that's a good quote. That's a good quote. Death is only the end if you assume the story is about you.
Oh man, death to that. Not positive yet, but it looks like that probe, the Schiaparelli probe that we talked about the other day. It looks like the parachute deployed a little bit too early, and the rockets or the thrusters or whatever that we're supposed to fire to soften and slow it down on landing only fired for a much briefer period of time than they had expected, I believe. And anyway, the result more than likely, they're still not sure where it is, but the result seems and would appear to be that it had a relatively high-speed impact, and that may mean
They
that.
were still not sure about it on the last article I saw.
No, they absolutely are still not sure, but it doesn't look good at this point. And the real good news though, that at least the real good news though is that the orbiter at least is in good condition. So at least
Michael, since all the Futures Tech crew is here, did you have something you wanted to tell them?
I did. Thank you guys. I actually haven't completed it, so I don't throw anything out there, but I did begin to watch.
Spoilers from the 1996 movie.
Yeah, I did begin to watch Super Mario Brothers. It wasn't 96. I thought it was like 93 or 4 or something. But at any rate, it was a much better movie than I had anticipated. I'm a huge fan of Bob Hoskins, and yeah, the cast was much more above average than I had expected. The story was relatively well crafted, I suppose, for what they were doing, and yeah, probably the best video game adaptation that I've seen. And I'm still very early into it.
He hasn't even gotten to the bombs. So
yeah.
That's
so
how early he is into it.
So what I'm saying, my initial impressions, you guys are right, and I regret having made or past assumptions about video game movies and not watching that one, and why I didn't want to watch that one. And I should have known when it started showing up as a popular sci-fi esque movie. I should have known there was something reasonably good about it. But thanks, guys.
It is a great movie. Highly recommend it.
Yep.
I love Future Tech Eric's quote that Mars only accepts quality robots. That's good.
Yeah. But no, I can't be happy about the loss of any stuff. But
yeah, he's not seen the bombs yet, so he's very early into the movie. But it's coming. It's coming.
And they could have named her Peach, right? Or is, I guess, Daisy the appropriate name? I don't know. I'm trying to remember back. And remember, I mostly played the original Super Mario Brothers and maybe watched my brother play the second one on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, he said he hated Nintendo 64's Super Mario World.
I didn't say I hated it. I just said I never played it.
I'm never going to look at it again.
That's not what I said.
It was close to that. The Mortal Kombat movie was awesome. The first one was awesome. Second one was.
I watched the first one in the theater and I thought it was good, but I'm almost gonna say Super Mario Brothers is a bit better.
Super Mario Brothers is better than Mortal Kombat's first movie, but the second movie made the first movie so much better because of the fact that it was not as good as the first one. Even close to it. So
they went downhill quick with that.
So I wanted to jump into something here. I thought this was extremely interesting video. Y'all may have heard last week I got my USB killer in. I've yet to use it on anything, even the tester, because I'm so worried about the stuff I have, and I have to go find a system that I can play around with, and I need a USB extension cord to be able to test the battery pack thing, which I was reading a little bit more on that, and majority of battery packs have oversurge protection, so they may not have any issues. But this video was very, very interesting to me. Completely ignore everything that the guy says about whatever he says, because he really does not seem to know much about what he's doing with that thing. It's kind of a warning of this is what happens when you give someone something and they have no idea what it does other than what the hype has said. He kind of explains it somewhat, but he really doesn't have any concept of what he was explaining. So that part of the video kind of aggravated me throughout the video as he did it. So a little bit downside on that, but he did test it on his first built computer that he ever did at 14, and it killed that almost instantly. And then he tested it on an iPhone 7 Plus and a Galaxy Note 7. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. The Galaxy Note 7 did not blow up like a bomb. In fact, the iPhone 7 nor the Galaxy Note 7 got killed by the USB killer. So both of them were still working and operational. But the iPhone 7 Plus Lightning port was damaged during the process. So he could no longer charge that iPhone 7, nor could he transfer data or do anything like that through the Lightning port. So while it did not destroy the entire phone, he is going to have to get the Lightning port fixed on that. The Galaxy Note 7, not a thing happened to it. It actually did perfectly fine, no problems at all. Excellently done. I do not know if the iPhone has wireless charging. Proctor, our resident iPhone person, do you know if the
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, listen. Okay, the wireless charging. I have an Edge and a 7 Edge, and it has wireless charging. I have a wireless charger. Not terribly impressed with it. I don't find hardly any circumstance under which I find myself using it.
That's interesting because I have the same phone and I actually have a wireless charger here that I keep on my desk all day, and
I mean,
you just
if I
put it
just,
on there.
I
And it's
get
always
in, get
charging.
in the habit of putting it like in my desk when I'm sitting, like you just described, and doing that. But I don't do that, and so I charge on demand when necessary.
Or
If
if
I'm
you
down to 13% on my
like,
phone,
what do you do
or
with your
whatever.
phone when you? Whoa! Is a plane crashing on my house right now?
Yeah, that's incredibly loud. Wow.
I thought I
That
clicked on a link with audio in it.
No, that's
Yeah,
insane.
that's fun.
That plane like sounded like it was right above the tree line.
Probably was.
Holy jeez, that's crazy.
Um,
Um. Anyway, Michael, what do you do with your phone at night?
I mean, I could just leave it on that, but the
Do
thing
you
is,
no? Do you? I mean, I'm saying like, do you normally like put it on your bedside table,
yeah,
or like
yeah,
do
that
you
would
leave
be
it in your
very
pocket?
yeah, that would be convenient. I just need to change the look. I know what I can do. Yeah, I'm gonna make
Don't do
myself
it
that.
right now. Sit down.
Yeah, no. I really want to, because that's the only way I'm
I'll
gonna start
remind
using
you
it.
after the show. So,
It's the only
um,
way I'll start using it.
I really love the wireless charging because my phone stays charged pretty much 100% of the time. It's nicer because what I do is I have it charging all day, and since I'm at my desk all day, then whenever I take it with me or take it to bed at night, I don't need to charge it. I
So
actually
what's
use the nighttime to let it not be on a battery.
so what's the idea? I'm concerned about battery health, and so is it a good idea to leave it charged? That might actually reduce the number of cycles it has to go through,
Not
charge
with
cycles.
not with recent made lithium batteries and the way they know phones are going to be
No,
charged. It's that
okay.
used to be a concern with lithium batteries, yes, but
Okay.
it's not a concern.
But your way might actually be a little bit better in that regard. But anyway, so all right, so that's not a concern.
No.
Then yeah,
And also, I do. What is your USB or what is your
the
wireless
point is, I
charger?
have a fast charging, adapter, and the charge time is extremely quick on my phone, despite it having a relatively large 30, I think it's 3600 milliamp battery. That being said, the wireless, while it does have a lot of convenience pros, will take 3 times as long to charge your device, in my
And
experience.
iPhone 7, I just confirmed, does not have wireless charging. They do have an option for, or they are. It's rumored to be coming with the iPhone 8, but
Yeah, the speaker at the last Spice Corps meetup that I went to in Winston, the speaker said that Apple is working to develop a long range wireless charging technology that could possibly be available with the iPhone 8.
a long range
Long
one. What
range?
does that mean?
Yep, to
Wow.
15 feet.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that sounds real safe. Um,
I wonder, will it just start bursting things into fire around it? I mean, if it's made by Samsung or has a Samsung.
Yeah, let's hope Samsung doesn't make that one.
Yeah, right. No, but why would they make an iPhone device? Yeah.
so that's the wireless charger I have, and I actually have 3 of them. both of this phone the S7 Edge I have, and the Droid Turbo that I had previously, both had wireless charging, and I absolutely love it. It's actually quite amazing. It's coming back again.
It is. I think
Crap.
has a war started, Brantley? Go outside and check that out.
Apparently.
I can listen. We've talked about, and you've talked about
Hey,
missing.
why don't you use your thingamajiggy to see what plane that is?
We
Oh,
talked.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Good idea. We talked about basically having packages stolen, but another big problem, at least for some issues, particularly around the holidays, we've had several of these delivering to Kansas, where one of my brothers lives. So at any rate, it's just like the mail's going nowhere and it's not getting delivered. And anyway, they had several problems. I'm not saying it was this in that particular situation, but if you are missing mail, apparently USPS workers sometimes just decide to dump them in ditches. And there's a video of that, and it has kind of the breakdown of the story. It's a little interesting. If you're having problems, it's certainly with your.
I haven't seen or heard of them just dumping it in ditches, but I did see a time where one of the UPS workers decided to say the package was lost when the package was actually
that
in the back
happens.
of their truck, and they just wanted to keep it.
Yeah, there's been all sorts of details about that, and similar incidences, but the actual just this blatant type of in this video particularly is a little bit disturbing. But it may make you want to question any results you're hearing from your local postal service if they're claiming complete ignorance of it. But then again, I'm not saying you guys have, there's a ditch on every street that's going to have your mail in it. I'm hoping this is just a single worker that, has criminal tendencies, hopefully. So,
what's that link that Eric posted about the? Before we move on to that, I was going to tell you, Michael, what is yours like? Your wireless charger, is it like a DC jack plug-in or is it a USB plug-in? And did it come with a power source, or are you using your own power source?
It came with its own, and it was a little USB brick, as I recall.
Make sure it's at least a 2.1 amp charger, because that makes a huge difference.
I know, but it's the one that came with it, and I did check and verify that it doesn't. In other words, it's getting plenty of power, the base, and
I mean, I'm not saying that it charges faster, but I'm just saying that it might not charge at all if you don't have a 2.1 amp.
Yeah, I was aware of that. I mean, I'll check again, but I'm said I used the one out of the box. I'm pretty sure I verified the 2.1 because I was aware of this issue at the time.
Okay.
If you guys just want the link to the just the video for the missing mail video, yeah, I'll post it as well. It's a local news broadcast.
Cool. I'm trying to set up the thing again.
Oh yeah, take your time. I'll try to come up with something, although I really wasn't as prepared. What else? Yeah. So Erica, let's look at. Oh, I got to watch the video for that. New way of breaking into ATMs. Let's see. Is this a smash and grab? Classic smash and grab? No. Bomb? No. What are they doing? They're unscrewing it. Okay. Yep. Taking out the sets of screws.
All right, Tim. I mean,
Oh, they're pretty quick on the screwdriver stuff, I guess. That was quick. Is that it? Did they take it all out? Just force? Was it really just no? That can't be right. Oh, they're attaching something. Oh, I see. They took off a plate, and then they're feeding a wire up into it. And what is that? That's a tube of some sort. That's what the? Where is this? Is this in Italy or something? Carbonari? I think it's in Italy, and he's putting they're shoving all sorts of tubes into this. If there was a human on the other end of this, I would say that they were having some sort of feeding tubes inserted into them. And now now they look like they're making some sort of wick or are they making it seal in it possibly? Are they going to be dumping? They're not dumping gasoline into it, are they? What are they doing? They're taking a long time to do this, though, in front of the security camera that's watching everything they're doing. They do have masks on. See what happens here. I'm hoping for some action coming up. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So it is a smash and grab, I believe. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what they did? Yeah, they did do that. Okay, so they attached a cable. I guess I thought it was tubing, but it was I didn't know what I was watching to it, and they ripped it. I guess ripped it out, the entire ATM. We've seen that before. In fact, there's a store. Oh, now we get the view from the other side. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yeah, they just ripped the whole thing down. So there's a store really close to me, the one I typically go, the gas station I go to. And so, yeah, what happened is they drove a truck through the front to the front of it and stuck the ATM, or tried to stick the ATM in the back and drive away with it. They had a problem and weren't able to get away with it. But yeah, they tried to do basically the same thing. So this is not terribly special. It's a tactic that's been used quite a bit.
Let's see.
What else here? It's 360 dot. Oh, I'm sorry. That's dynamite. They pulled it out, right? They attached something and drove off with it. It's not dynamite, is it? What? I didn't see anything in the video suggesting it was dynamite, but I could be wrong. You know my eyes and my perception and reality. For me, it's not always.
Nick, you're not muted.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Why am I muted?
I don't know.
Well, mute me.
Oh, we can mute you if you want, but you're muted now. Nope, now you're not. I'll mute you if you need to. I can't mute you. Michael, I have to mute you.
What? Something's going on.
Never mind, I'm done.
They stuck 3 orange tubes in an ATM, and then there was an explosion. That's one way to steal an ATM. Hey, did anyone else see that there's a trailer out for Wolverine 3, appropriately named Logan? It looks pretty awesome.
Is it really, call it Wolverine 3? It's the 3rd installment in Wolverine. They never really did the 1, 2, 3 thing, did they?
I know, and that's what I was saying. It's called Logan. But
Logan.
It seems awesome.
Wolverine 3, Logan's Run.
And
claims there.
There's a trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. So that is what
we didn't put that on the show yesterday.
No, Rockstar had just said that they were Rockstar just did some things that made everyone think that there was a Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out. Now they've officially released a trailer for it. So you get to see it, and it looks amazing. Like the quality of the images just looks amazing. So I'm very excited about that.
It does.
And someone had mentioned in the chat, I forget which one, and now I can't see it quickly. And there's a COD beta out tomorrow. That Call of Duty beta. Which Call of Duty is it now? Is it like the original Call of Duty, or is it the Call of Duty Black Ops, or Call of Duty 1500 different titles that they have for those games? Sorry, I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty, but That's cool that they're coming out with another new one. But someone had mentioned the Nintendo's next console, and I can't see it in the chat right now, but this is what they were talking about. Yeah, I think it's 100 or something. Okay, so you at least get the humor in that. Nintendo is coming out with their next console, calling it Switch, and it looks like it's like a TV, mobile app, everything kind of thing. It does look pretty sweet and fancy.
Okay, its price tag is going to be high, and I'm concerned based upon the previous
Where'd you get that?
specs that, because typically what if Nintendo follows Nintendo
No
style.
details on pricing have been released.
Okay. Okay. So knowing Nintendo, they never go for the cutting edge console. They usually go for a little bit behind, but they usually throw in something else to, whatever, some buzz whiz bang feature that's really cool.
Yeah, like
and
the
they offer
fact that.
great games as well.
Have you looked at this? Have you looked at this yet?
No, I haven't looked at this
Look at
entire
that page that
thing,
I just posted.
But slow down. The expected price was supposed to be about $350 is what they're talking about for something.
But look at the picture that I just posted. Like if you go down and the first thing shows you how you can convert it to a mobile device. So it's got a mobile screen built into it. Your controller turns into the edges for your mobile device, and you can pull it right out. So you go from a console to a mobile device. Then those controller sides can be detached, and you can use them as controllers, each a 1-player and 2-player. Like at the very bottom of the screen, you can see 2 people playing on the Switch console or the Switch portable version. And that's freaking awesome. But right above that, you'll see a picture of where you can see the screen going into the console adapter and having the controller and having the portable version. So it's like a portable and home system all in one. I agree, they sometimes do go on the low end of specs, but the handheld isn't going to support 1080p, but when it's in the console adapter, it's supposed to support up to 4K. So I think it's going to be nice. And they also were supposedly pushing things back because of a VR adaptation that they're going to add to it as well, which there's no announcement or anything other than rumors about. So
Also remember that they primarily only have games on Nintendo that are actually kid friendly. So there doesn't tend to need to be the
high resolution.
That's
the
true.
latest hardware.
Yeah, no high resolution of everything pictured, and
That's
they still make things look great. Ocarina of Time was
Look,
great.
I have no argument with any of those statements. My argument just simply comes off the fact that since they can probably save a bit on cost by using, a less powerful solution, basically, they're using NVIDIA's Tegra platform, which can be used in like very high-end cell phones and other types of, media streaming devices and things of that nature. It doesn't compete with any sort of desktop graphics, of course, but it's very power efficient and very.
Honestly, no console competes with desktop graphics.
Yeah, this is true, but the major ones at least sometimes come like somewhat.
They try, but I mean the PS4 is how old now? They just released an updated version of the PS4, and it's still the PS4, but they just added a little bit nicer hardware. But
anyway,
still,
$350 getting up to the price. $350. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought $350 or $399 or somewhere around that is starting to get up to the price of the the higher end devices. And
well, it's getting up to the price of the PlayStation and Xbox, but you have to remember that the interesting feature about this is you're not buying just a console. When you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation, you're tied to your TV. With this device, you're buying a console and a portable app or a portable gaming platform at the same time. So that means that you can put it in the console when you're at home and want it on the TV. You can take it out and take it with you on the go.
Yeah, I get
So
what
you're
you're
getting
saying.
two devices for that.
I mean,
Maybe they're
that's
like
exactly what.
150.
All right,
150 apiece.
I understand. There's some flexibility in the device, but look, we'll see. The sales numbers, their stock looks like it's possibly going to take a bump from this, and we'll ultimately see as time goes. But for families, I think Nintendo's always been the go-to choice for their kids. Say for kid entertainment. So that's probably they've already probably got that
Well, it's
market.
not just for kids at all. I love Nintendo stuff over anything else. If I played anything else, it would be Call of Duty, by the way. But I haven't played the last 10 or 20 of them. I'm just talking about like the first three. But the Nintendo stuff is also so fun for adults, and it's actually fun for adults to do with kids at the same time.
Yeah.
But also in buying games, you don't have to like scrutinize the game so heavily, because if it's for Nintendo, it's probably kid friendly. So I mean,
The
that's
majority of the time, they did have Doom on.
there are a couple of things, but yeah, you can generally tell right away if there's sexual content.
But even in Doom, I believe they did something to cut down, or they changed the colors, or did something to make it.
It probably made it less scary for sure.
Yeah. At any rate, but that's
something's about to jump out at you.
I'm not
Watch
saying
out.
it's not adult friendly. I'm just saying that obviously that's a big focus of theirs, and so they probably do already have a stranglehold on that market.
I have the most fun on Nintendo myself.
What
I don't care for anything else.
What I'm wondering
Plus
though is,
PC.
did they take away the motion out of it? I haven't seen anybody say one way or the other. I haven't really researched it a whole lot. It just came out this morning or yesterday. I think it was this morning. But I loved the Wii interface. Using a motion and action to do things, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to include that in this next generation. And like they may almost have felt like that was the downfall. The reason for the downfall was that they did the motion side and focused on that heavily. But I completely beg to differ. I think that was an awesome feature, and I hope that they include that. If nothing else, we'll probably see it in their. They are going to add something VR related. Nobody knows anything about it yet, but there have been lots of rumors of that's why the hardware's been pushed back so many days, is because they're looking at something VR to add to it. And considering Virtual Boy, they got a lot of coming ups to do from that. So I'm sure that they're making sure that whatever they do VR this time is going to be a worthwhile experience. So I'm excited to see where they go. I'm just glad that they're battling against Xbox and PlayStation.
Proctor, is that Maurice in the chat?
Yeah.
Sweet
Hey,
feet.
Maurice. Plays soccer. He's coached soccer.
So let's move on from that. Check this out. If anyone's a fan of King of the Hill, which I definitely am, you can watch the opening credits pixelated now. I thought it was pretty cool. Then, oh, Nick, I thought you might like this one, and Proctor as well, since y'all both have kids and they both enjoy Minecraft. Here's a life hacker's guide to playing Minecraft with your kids.
The guide is what? Turn it off and go outside?
It does not look like that's what it's saying, but
oh, then that's not the guide for me.
It might be telling you what it means and what they're doing.
And you might
be able to understand why they killed a dog or something.
I don't really care. Wyatt's still convinced you make friends in the game by hitting them.
I hit them and then they follow me around everywhere I go after that.
I know.
Yeah, they're trying to swing at me, but that means they're friends with me, right?
They're making friends. That's how you do it.
Oh, that's totally awesome. You should play Call of Duty with them and tell them headshots are how you make friends.
Wow. He's actually pretty good at that Star Wars, whatever, Battlefield or something. I don't know.
Star Wars Battlefield? I haven't seen that.
I guess. I don't know. You can kill people in
that. So I wouldn't say this is much of a song. and I am sure other people on here would say that he doesn't have any songs. But Eminem released a new track yesterday, and it's called Campaign Speech. And yeah, I thought track was a good word for it. But it's weird because it just sounds like it's a bunch of his freestyling put together, and they put a beat under it and released it as a new track. But it's kind of weird. But honestly, I would take him for president over anyone else that we got running right now. So,
President of what? Dude, he couldn't be president of the chess club. I don't know. Whatever. It's something insignificant.
it is very clear that he's anti-Trump in that song, though. He doesn't come out really pro-Clinton, but he definitely comes out anti-Trump. And he does recommend himself for being, or no, he doesn't even recommend himself. He just says what he would do if he became president. So, on that note, though, I thought it was an interesting article that came over on TechNibble, advertising your political opinions, risk and rewards, and this is speaking towards your business. And doing so, we try to avert it here just because it causes so much grief on all sides of everywhere.
Between us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, for everywhere. But I thought it was kind of interesting. One of the interesting points to me was the fact that
that was pretty Proctor.
One of your employees donating to a place, and then the campaign finding out that they're an employee of you, and then saying that your business supports that particular candidate. I thought that was an interesting route of things. I didn't know that happened, but
that's interesting.
Concerned.
Yeah, like if you send what if you're just at work in your lunch break and you happen to have an email address that's your company domain email address? I guess you shouldn't be using that for personal matters, but
generally there's a rule against that.
Yeah, there should be rules. There's rules against it already, but I'm trying to just think of the circumstances by which they would know you're from a. I mean, do they say in their communication with them that, oh, hey, I'm a such and such an employee? I'm just understanding, is it complete fraud? In other words, is it complete misrepresentation?
I'm expecting you to say something like, "There should be speed limits. People drive too fast."
Yeah.
You always say stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's horrible that I see roads all around here that have no speed limits marked. Apparently, somewhere in the back pages of some DMV book, it says that they're 55 miles an hour if they're not posted. But
your area is like the only place I've ever been that I've noticed that.
Yeah, even out in the deserts of Montana and Arizona and places like that, they have speed limits posted.
Yeah, we don't have
There's some places around where I grew up that are like that too, but the country roads and stuff like where you are, I guess. But
yeah, and as design webs,
they're generally straight, not like all ribbony and stuff.
As design webs mentions, it's actually a national speed limit that if there's no posting, it's 55.
It's usually statewide, and there's a citywide too. But the thing is that in his area, it's like a ribbon. It's like there's no. I mean,
yeah, you can't. You have to drive for a long time to figure out what the speed limit might be if you didn't know that it was 55.
Go 55
by implication,
so I guess you don't care.
But if it's not marked, it's 55. That whole concept sometimes seems a little bit weird to me. Like for instance.
So now
I don't see any speed limit signs around.
Wait. So now Michael's yelling out his window at the 15 cars behind him. There's no speed limit posted. I'm fine going 25. And they're all like trying to go 55.
No, it's not that. I'm usually a faster driver. But what I'm getting at is that how far do you have to drive to confirm that it's not posted? Okay. In other words, if it's just over that next hill, it's all, you know what I mean? It seems a little bit weird.
Well, it's
interestingly enough, there is a minimum speed. I got pulled one time for doing more than 15 miles an hour under the speed limit on a highway. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like 15 miles an hour, I think it was.
On all interstates, it's usually posted that going 40 miles under is not allowed. Or going 40 or below is not allowed. like if your car can't go above 40 and you're on the interstate, you need to pull over, and not continue to drive. But yeah, that's all. Like, I think it's usually it's posted fairly well. Otherwise, I thought this was a really interesting article as well. It's kind of a turn of events from the recent or from the regular Nigerian scams. So this lady, 57 years old, had a dating profile. She didn't pay much attention to it, and then she just decided to pay attention to one of the messages she got. Started getting in a conversation with the guy, and eventually the guy turned into saying that he was at the hospital with his son, and the doctors are demanding advance before they can assist him and help him, and otherwise he's going to die. And the lady gave him money, and then more and more fees and advance notices came up, and that's when she started questioning it and stopped giving him money, stopped talking to him. And later he actually came back and said, I just wanted to let you know I'm not who I said I was. I'm actually a scammer. And she was like, I know that. And he was like, but I felt different about you, and against all the advice from my scammer friends, I fell in love with a client, and she ended up going down and meeting him in person and setting up some things to
And arrested him, right?
setting up things to try to assist people that feel like they have no other way than to scam to make.
The feel-good story of the year, the scammer with the heart of gold. I think this has been told before, except it wasn't a scammer with a heart of gold.
I don't think the scammer had the heart of gold in this one. He scammed her, and everything went down.
No, but then he fell. Then he fell in love with her. Oh yeah, I mean, come on.
But then she went down and is trying to do good. So I thought that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
On that,
I'm sorry to be critical of it.
On that scamming bit, apparently, if you purchased a Never Hillary or other merchandise from a pro-Republican store, for the past 6 months, your credit card might have been skimmed, as they had a card skimming code sniffing for payment clues such as checkout, and once it detected it, collected all the details and information entered in on order forms, including buyers' names, addresses, credit card numbers, and merchandise ordered. It was then sent to a Russian version of PayPal. And so if you bought any of that stuff from whatever place they're talking about there, you might want to change your credit card number stuff and all that. What else we got? Anything else we got? We got something else? No, nothing else. I got some other things. I was just giving some other people a chance.
I mean, there's stories that are. Go ahead. You might come across the same ones, so that's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So there is another ransomware that is out there, and it's pretending to be a click me game. And while you're sitting there trying to click to win, it's actually encrypting your files in the background. I believe they said it's not in the wild yet, still in development, but it's possible that it could be released. So keep an eye out for that.
I saw that earlier. I was looking into that. Improving our database with that information. But it sometimes takes a very long time, I've noticed, from these before these are actually released. But I was surprised at first when I first saw the first one that actually did get released, and it's creepy. You kind of know what's coming, and then it kind of hits real big. Like they go to a huge campaign, like the next day, a week or whatever. You'll see 50,000 people, So let's hope this one takes time.
Design Webs is correct. People will click on anything, and especially they'll download a program that asks them to click on things. And Zombie Worm liked your scammer feel good story comment. So this article was kind of interesting to me, and Proctor is our iPhone resident. I'm going to ask you about it. But apparently, this person switched from Android just because he is ashamed that he shows up as a green bubble on an iPhone when he text messages. And I knew that iPhone was doing that. I did not know the cult of iPhone had gotten to the point where they look down on people and won't talk to people that come up as green bubbles. Obviously why iPhone went this route. But Proctor, do you have any thoughts on that, or
What is bad about a green bubble? Doesn't that say, "Hey, go"?
Yeah, on the iPhone, if you're communicating with between two iPhones, you show up as blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean like you're sad you have an iPhone?
I would be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
when
I think there is a some type of thought that if you're coming up green, there's something wrong with you, or
yeah, because you're using an Android device. You only show up as Android, or you only show up if you're using a non-iPhone device.
you could also if you're using an iPhone, you could show up as green if you're texting to another iPhone, if it's not going through iMessage, if it's going through regular SMS. That does happen sometimes if iMessage is not working properly.
Ah, so iPhone users could be like called out and then like, no, swear I'm using an iPhone. Look, I'll send you an email and it says sent from my iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, I have gotten messages like, hey, why are you showing up green? What happened?
That's crazy. Insane to me. Obviously, that's why iPhone did that. But yeah, so this person was again the whole online dating thing, and they had been talking and doing all this, and he's like sets up a date with her on a text message, and like she agrees to the date, and then she comes back and like 30 minutes later is like, what's the meaning of this green bubble conversation? What non-iPhone gadget is this? And then like he felt embarrassed and ashamed of it, and he's now going to switch to the iPhone 7 because he was disappointed in the Pixel, just so that he can not show up as a green bubble anymore. I think
should be proud.
I would say so too. I would never trade an Android for an iPhone either, and I think we had almost convinced Proctor to go Android. Proctor, are you still feeling that, or are you going to stick with your?
I don't want to be a green bubble.
I might give it a try.
You're gonna.
Might give Android a try.
He's going green bubble, people. You heard it here first. Yeah, I would, like I said, I would be proud if I'm showing up as green.
What do you need with them status symbols anyway? iStatus.
Ian has the LG5 and loves it. I have the S7 Edge. Michael has the same one. Johnny has the same one. Nick's got the 6P.
Nexus 6P, yeah. I had the 6 before this, and I'll tell you, I like that a lot better.
Yeah. I've heard some interesting things about ups and downs on the 6P. So, you were saying that it might have been Nougat that was causing more of your issues, the latest 7 OS. And I have heard a lot of incompatibilities with the.
I'm on the beta. I'm on the beta, so I can't.
Well, I'm saying I've heard a lot of people complain about issues with the 6P and the Android beta Nougat thing. So
well, it's beta. I mean,
it's true. It's true. But you would think that a Nexus device wouldn't have any issue with the beta of Android.
I opted in. It's okay.
Okay. Design Web says he's got the IDT 10 or 10T beta. I'm not a very big fan of the Pixel myself either, so I'm kind of concerned seeing where those phones go from here. But on a more completely different point and much cuter point, here is an awesome Halloween costume. As I see these come up closer we get to Halloween, I'll try to repost them here just to give some people some joy. I think last one we had was the Luke Skywalker on the Thombrat, or what's that thing called?
TomTom.
TomTom. And this one is super cool. I believe the kid's in a wheelchair, so they created a Ghostbusters car to go around his wheelchair, and he's dressed up as a Ghostbuster.
That's awesome.
That is freaking awesome. Let's see, what do we got else? Hey, Zombie Worm's here. I've been talking about some Raspberry Pi stuff over the past week. I just want to point that out to you, Zombie Worm. If you haven't checked, go back and check our previous episodes. Yesterday, even, I think I pointed one out and mentioned your name about it.
I can vouch for that. He mentions your name every time he talks about it too.
Yeah. So there is news that Fedora is now on the Raspberry Pi. So check that out if you're interested in using Fedora. You can now use it on your Raspberry Pis. I think I'm going to stick with the highlights. Oh man, there's been a lot. I don't know. I can't give you highlights. You're gonna have to go back. Once we do a random recent news day, it goes into.
There was the one I remember. The one I can recall, Zombie, is a home automation hub or something like that, using a Pi, with a lot of kind of a mix and match. You don't have to implement the full project, just whatever would be good for your home. But he kind of walks you through the beginning and then to that.
I was really interested in that because, as Nick knows very well, that with home automation hubs, you kind of get trapped into whichever one you want to go with. And I would think if you have a Raspberry Pi, maybe you're able to not be trapped to specific devices. So
well, you do and then you don't. If you go for the real deal, it's not a big issue. The gadgets that I liked, never bought into, because, well, who has the money and the time? Right. But it was something like a Insteon or something. I'm gonna have to look into that right quick. But let me get you a link, actually. I'd much rather do something like that than something all prepackaged. However, some of the prepackaged ones at least, require a lot less work.
Yeah, as expected there.
They may come with an additional premium.
Yeah.
Sometimes monthly.
Yeah, and that's the other side of it, is if they're going to be charging you monthly times for your home automation, that's like locking you into a subscription for life just to get your house to work. Yeah. Sorry, honey, we can't get in the door today because couldn't afford that monthly bill. Had to cut it off the budget, so we don't get any lights or anything. Good news is it saves us on electricity.
This gadget right here is what I had settled on buying if one day I invested in home automation. There's actually a couple of other jobs that are you need to go with that for various things, but that's what I want. Christmas.
Okay. Just so you know, for future reference, anything before the ref is okay to leave off on Amazon links. They do make
sorry about that.
They do make it a little bit complicated sometimes on some of their links, but
yeah, was in a hurry.
That's okay. I was just
I got things on my mind.
It's okay. Sorry. It's okay. It's all right. Calm down. It's the end of the world.
Did you clean that up? You cleaned that up for me? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Wait a minute, but you didn't leave in the smile part. Smile.
Okay. You don't need the smile part, but okay.
You need the smile part. You should do the smile part. Supposedly they give money to your charity of your choice.
I did not know that. Interesting.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, a smile. Yeah, definitely. Smiles, but we've talked about it before. I did the JDRF.
But you can only. It only happens if you go to smile.amazon.com. If you go to the regular Amazon site, they don't do it. If you buy a mobile app, they don't do it. If you buy on your Fire TV, they don't do it. You have to go to Smile.
Yeah, and
And,
they will
links will
suggest
lead
it to
you
you.
elsewhere quickly sometimes, unless the link is from Smile. So you should always.
Yeah,
It could be a browser plugin or something.
they're okay
So
now.
they-
At least when I've been going to it recently, it's if I'm not at Smile already, it knows that I've used Smile before and recommends that I switch to it. So that's a convenience that I've noticed recently.
I have not
it-
had that happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
that's
had that happen.
interesting. That the reason I pasted it without the smile is because it automatically redirects you to a non-smile address. But it does say when you sign, like if you put smile in, it gives you www and redirects you there. But it gives you a banner at the top that says Amazon
'Cause you're
Smiles
not-
program.
Right, you gotta sign up for it, I guess maybe.
Yeah, it says
Yeah,
visit
you have to
Amazon.
opt in and choose your charity.
Yep, there you go. So that's
Yeah,
part
but
of it.
like all the time, I'm like looking to buy something on Amazon, and I'm accidentally not on the Smile site, and I'm like,
Well, that's good. You should definitely do that then. All right. Well, I have two other things I wanted to bring up real quick here. We're at the end of our hour limit here, but I thought it was very interesting that Samsung issued a takedown notice for the GTA 5 Galaxy 7 Note Bomb mod video. So
of course
someone
they would.
made a mod for GTA 5 where they took a Samsung Galaxy Note and made that as the bomb, and you could use that, and they made a video and put it on YouTube. Samsung did not find humor in that, and they filed a totally bogus copyright infringement claim, apparently on, as quoting from that article. But I think that is a bogus copyright infringement claim as well. I mean, you can barely even read that it says Samsung there, but who knows?
But it does say Samsung. Of course, it's a. Oh my gosh. But anyway,
I mean, that's like using their product in something else, though. I don't think that's a copyright claim. I don't see
I don't know
how
what
that falls in copyright.
I don't know what the legal.
Right.
We're not lawyers here, so. But at any rate, I just regardless of them taking that down, that's not going to change public opinion. People, there's too many other stories out there about their phones and explosions and all that stuff. So they really screwed up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fair use in that situation. But last other link I wanted to post here was this very interesting flash flooding video. So this person was in their office building and there was flooding coming. I don't know exactly where it was. East Creek near Chalk Drive, Chalk Lane. Toowoomba? Where the heck is Toowoomba?
Is that where it's supposed to say camera?
What? I have no idea. I just copied and pasted what it had there. Queensland, Australia is where Toowoomba is, and that's where this video was taken. And
I think there's a computer troubleshooters there that subscribes to D7 too.
oh, awesome. Hopefully they were not affected by this flash flood, because that is probably one of the worst flash flooding examples I've seen.
Cemera Footage Flooding was that just a camera? I'm sorry.
That's what Johnny just said.
But fix it.
It's not fixable. That's what the title of the YouTube video is. They wanted it to be that, so I'm not changing it.
I gotcha.
Anyway,
In a hurry.
check out that. Yeah, they might have been in a rush of being floated away or something. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. If you go to the 1 minute mark or so, you'll start to see where all of those cars in the parking lot actually start floating down the river. And I mean, it's a 5 minute video, and they show you the whole time of cars just getting swept down and under. And this is how dangerous flash floods are. Like, those people didn't have enough time to go out and move their cars. They just had to watch their cars ride down the river, basically. But it's probably one of the best videos I've seen of the true power of a flash flood. And you hear all the time how dangerous it is to see or be in a flash flood. this kind of shows you why it's so dangerous. Like entire cars are just lifted up and carried off like they were floaty devices. So, all right. I think we should wrap it up on that, unless anyone had anything else they wanted to share real quick. No? Good. Good, maybe? Yeah, no? All right,
I'm
we'll leave
fine.
it.
I'm fine. I'm so super excited about the 960 Pro Samsung. Guys, this performance is amazing. There's numerous benchmarks around. You guys can find it. Just search for 960 Pro, Samsung 960 Pro.
Alrighty. Well, otherwise, we are going to wrap it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for our Friday show. So if you have any questions or concerns about our software or services, you can join us then and ask us directly, or you can feel free to contact our support by the various means we have on our Contact Us at the footer of every page on our site. We'll be more than happy to help you that way as well. And we will see you tomorrow. Thanks everyone for joining us and talking. Always much appreciated. Take us on out, Proctor.